thank you so much to Twilio and to Beth for giving me this amazing title that makes my talk sound very exciting, When Minutes Matter. And also, I just want to thank you all for sticking around and coming to my session. So I'm Pete Dempster, and I work for BMW of North America. So I work for a massive car company with 100,000 employees. We produce 2 million cars a year. And today I'm going to be talking about how we are doing something totally new with mobility, how we're becoming more engaged with digital products, and what that means in terms of the partnerships that we form and the products and services that we're offering to the consumer, which is also a new consumer. So before I start, I just want to say that I'm in business development. I'm a recovering engineer, but unfortunately, I'm the worst kind. So I'm a mechanical engineer. So if you're coming here to hear about software and computer science, I don't have that background. But anyway, I'm excited to tell you about our product. So what we've been observing at BMW is everything is changing. And even though when I started, BMW was selling 1.4 million cars a year, and now we're selling 2 million cars. If you were just to extrapolate, it seems like there's no end in sight to that. But then we went out to these mega cities. We've been visiting cities for the past 10 years and really looking at trends, what's happening, and trying to figure out how to react to new and exciting opportunities for us outside of traditional individual car ownership and car sales. So major trends that we're seeing: urbanization. Here in San Francisco, for example, the city is growing at 10,000 people per year, which is an insane amount. Seattle is the fastest growing city in the US. So we need to keep up with that. Those 10,000 people aren't going to be bringing their 1.1 cars into the city of San Francisco. There's literally no parking here, and it's getting more and more expensive. Every single person now has a connected device, whether it's a phone or some kind of a computer. They have access to the internet basically at all times, and this is definitely going to change the way we do business. And then there's the issue of environment and regulations, and we're really reacting to changing fuel types, lower carbon fuels, rules that impact the amount that we're driving as a society. And those are exciting changes also to us and allows for a lot of new products like electric vehicles. People want on-demand mobility. It's something that we're seeing. Sustainability is really a preference for our customers, so they want the most sustainable products throughout the entire life cycle of that car. And just changing demographics. We're seeing all sorts of exciting things happening. We want to be a part of it. And so that's how we arrived at spending billions of dollars on mobility services and trying to be a sustainable mobility provider. And that's nothing short of a miracle for a company whose name roughly translates to Bavarian Engine Factory. And in the past couple of years, we've worked on intermodal solutions, connecting people to trains and car sharing and parking. And all sorts of things. We invested in Embark SF, which was acquired by Apple to join the Maps group. Parking solutions, so Park at My House was a peer-to-peer parking service that we invested in. So you can, if you have a parking space in front of your house, you can rent it out to someone who needs it, sort of like an Airbnb for your parking spot. And then Park Now, which is a company that we founded here in San Francisco that allows people to really look at the marketplace of parking through apps and pay for it through the mobile platform. Location-based services, multimodal apps, and electric cars. And of course, we spent $2 billion on our BMW i program. I actually worked on the i3. I don't know if there are any BMW i3 owners here. But I came from research and development, and that's an exciting car. We're hoping to incorporate that in some of our mobility services that I'll be talking about. So car sharing is exploding. And what we see in North America, There are 1.3 million car-sharing members. In Europe, it's about 1.5 million car-sharing members. That's of 2014, according to research. But our prediction is that by 2020, there'll be 15 million car-sharing members. And so we really want to get involved in this right now, build technology around that, make our cars shareable, which is one of the most critical elements of our whole product. DriveNow, the company that I'm representing today, is a joint venture in Europe between BMW Group and Sixt. So BMW, of course, produces the best cars in the world, I think. I'm slightly biased. Sixt produces our essentially a lot of our IT solutions, CRM, fleet, maintenance, and back-end digital products, customer-facing digital products. And together, we formed a 50-50 joint venture called DriveNow. In the US, the company that I run is a wholly owned subsidiary, BMW iVentures. So what did we do for car sharing? We totally hacked the model. So a lot of people just say, oh, you're like Zipcar, but with BMWs. And I say, no, we're like Uber, except you drive yourself in an electric BMW, which sounds awesome, right? You want to do that. And that's really what we are. So it's urban. You know, our model works in cities, in the urban core. We don't have fixed rental stations, so unlike a Zipcar where you pick it up and drop it off in the same spot, you can pick it up and drop it off in different places, and most of our cars are available just free floating on the street, just as if you were a resident of that city. You pay by the minute, so just like Uber, except we're about half the cost. So as an example, to go from south of Market here in San Francisco to the airport would be about $15 using DriveNow. So very affordable. And we don't charge any monthly fees. We charge you $40 to join, and that's to cover the cost of the card that we send you. We have 420, actually we're approaching 500,000 members at this point. The slide is a little bit old. So 500,000 members sharing 3,100 cars in 8 cities. So our cars are driven about 6 times on average per day in each of these cities. So we do almost 19,000 trips per day. And we have a variety of models just free floating on these streets of Berlin or Hamburg or San Francisco, London, Vienna, and other cities, including the BMW i3, our carbon fiber electric vehicle, 2 series, minis, various models within the Mini brand. And it's very intuitive, and it's totally on demand. So customer will register online or through the app on the spot when they see a car. When you open up the app, the first thing it does is pull up the car that's closest to you. And it's normally just a few blocks away. So it's just 5 or 10 minutes walk to that car. You can reserve the car for up to 15 minutes ahead of time. And the use case is really you're at home, you're in your office, you want a car, you don't want someone to take it as you're walking to it. When you get to the car, you can use your app to unlock the car when you're standing next to it, or you can use one of our NFC cards that we send you. You type in your PIN to start the booking. You drive from one place to another place, park it on the street wherever you find a spot near your destination. And then when you get out of the car, you can lock it using the app or the key card again. And you're done with your reservation. Most of our reservations are about 20 to 30 minutes in length. And we charge 45 cents per minute of driving. So it's very affordable. Our business is growing very rapidly. As I mentioned, we're up at about 500,000 members. And just in the last year, we've grown 80%. And if you're wondering who our members are, and why it's so interesting for a BMW Group to be involved in this business, they're quite young. The median age is 33. The median age of our i3 buyer is 45. And for a BMW buyer is over 50. So it's a totally new group of people. Very diverse level of education. For our electric vehicle owners, 15% of them have a PhD. So we're talking very, very highly educated people. For DriveNow, very diverse in terms of education, and that's very exciting. We have lots of families who use our product. So, with 4 seats, you can easily fit a family in that car, or business partners, or whoever. And we see a very diverse income as well. So 20% of our members make less than $1,000 a month, so those are students. So our service is really appealing to everybody, and that's really exciting for us. And they have a diverse set of mobility needs as well. So we have people who take our cars to the airport from the city. People use it for commuting. Maybe it's raining, or you just feel like driving a nice convertible Mini Cooper to work, going to a business meeting and using it for 3 hours, just like you would a Zip car. That's fine too. We don't really care. And you don't need to tell us when you're bringing it back. So you can really use it for anything. So as you can see, very diverse. Some typical use cases. So you're at home, you want to go to the bar, you take a DriveNow car that's nearby you, meet your friends at the bar, and then you take Uber home, of course, because we don't want you driving our car drunk. Maybe you want to take a business trip. You want to go meet one of these great startups like Twilio for a business lunch. So you could book a package in the car for 3 hours and then bring it back to your business location. That's fine too. Or maybe you want to take a day trip. So if you live here, you want to go to Tahoe for the day. You want to take an X5 or an X1. Or if you're in Munich, maybe you want to go visit the countryside or something like that. So you could book a package for up to 24 hours in the car. Our cars can meet all your mobility needs. So if you're a family, if you are using it for moving, we don't really mind. Actually, it's a perfect use case for moving because you're moving from one place to another, and we're a one-way service. To and from the airport, we're seeing more and more of our businesses to the airport. And as a result of that, we're seeing the need for more communication with the members because it's a very stressful situation when you're going to the airport. Also, when you're arriving at an airport, you want to know where the car is. And I'll get into how that impacts our relationship with Twilio. So DriveNow and Twilio, we have an amazing relationship. It's allowed us to build a product that gives us a great user experience. And we're very excited about the future with Twilio. We joined forces in December of 2014. You may have heard in some of the opening remarks today of a case study of Alpha Sender, for example, where we're able to send SMS communication from DriveNow. So it's not even a number. Initially, it was a local number, whether it was in Germany or in San Francisco, from a local number. Now it's just from DriveNow that you get your SMS. So that's really, really exciting. And also, we use a 2-step authentication process. So we use Twilio to stay one step ahead of the member. So during registration, for example, you get that authentication code that you put into the website or the app to finalize the process. We check your identity. We do some background checks, and we check your driving record to sign you up for DriveNow. So you need information during that whole process about how it's going. Reservation. During a reservation, this is an example. So I booked Chihuahua. We had the members name these cars, and EV was an important component of the name. So we ended up with names like Chihuahua and Geneva and Beavis. So this is an example. I booked a car here. It's telling me what car I booked. It's a BMW Active E, and the color is white. I have the plate, and I have some other information too that I get in that text about where it is. Maybe it's in a parking garage with EV chargers. I need to know exactly where that parking garage is. I need to know the hours, and maybe even a phone number. So if it's after hours, I can call the front desk of the building. They can let me in and get me into a DriveNow car. So that relationship is really important. So alerts during the rental. I got one yesterday. It reminded me that I forgot to lock the doors. So I could open up my app and lock the doors remotely from my office. And that was really great. Also, sometimes, for whatever reason, you're on a conference call, you get out of the car, and you forget to end your reservation. So we send reminders after 3 hours that you haven't ended your reservation, and maybe you should look into that. And then you could call our call center, and they could do it for you. So in the future, though, and this is where I think the relationship gets very exciting with Twilio, is things like dynamic pricing. So we can discount trips. Let's say a car is stuck in the outer sunsets of San Francisco or some kind of remote area of Berlin. We want that car to move pretty quickly. So we can really target people who live in that neighborhood and say, any drive originating from this neighborhood right now is half off. We can get people into cars. Maybe you're going to do your errand an hour from now, and then you get that notification. It means that the members get discounted drives, and it means that we get the cars moving and to places where they're going to generate more revenue. And that's great for our business, obviously. And other geo-based push notifications. Radar, for example, is a setting that you can choose. And when a car is dropped off nearby you and is available to members, it'll send you an SMS saying that a car has shown up very recently within a couple blocks. So those are some of the exciting things that we're doing with Twilio. We're really thrilled about our product. We've announced that we're going to be in 10 North American cities in the next couple of years. So that's really my job. I'm going out to these cities, spending a lot of my time on the road right now, meeting with these cities and trying to get them to embrace this new form of mobility, which requires very unique parking arrangements. But we're going to be growing this market in a big way, and we're really excited about Twilio. One of the reasons I came here is to meet you. So it's fun talking about our product, and obviously I'm very enthusiastic about it. But I'm really here to make the right connections, and we've been talking a lot about composing software, and I think we're moving in that direction as a company. So BMW Group generally is used to buying things like a car company would buy things. So massive RFP, we want to buy 300,000 leather seats. Okay, what's the cheapest bid? Take that, go for it. And I think initially with car sharing and some of these mobility services, we thought about our software in that way, where we would buy car sharing software, the whole thing. And I think we're at a point where we're starting to reimagine what our product could look like. So this is a great time. Please, if you have any questions, you want to work together, you want to partner on something, if you think you have a tool that would be useful for DriveNow as we grow in North America, then I'd love to hear from you. So here's my email address is on the right. Again, Pete Dempster, Business Development Sales Manager, and look forward to questions and meeting you. Thank you.